The studio buzzed with anticipation as the audience settled into their seats for another episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Tonight's guest was Pam Bondi, former Florida Attorney General and a prominent figure in conservative politics. Known for her staunch support of former President Donald Trump and her involvement in his impeachment defense, Bondi was no stranger to controversy. As she made her entrance, the audience greeted her with a mix of applause and murmurs, setting the stage for a potentially fiery exchange. Colbert, ever the charismatic host, welcomed Bondi with a warm handshake and a smile that hinted at the probing questions to come. The initial pleasantries were exchanged, with Colbert complimenting Bondi on her recent endeavors and Bondi expressing her appreciation for the opportunity to appear on the show. The atmosphere was cordial, but the underlying tension was palpable. Both individuals were seasoned in the art of public discourse, and the audience sensed that this interview would be anything but ordinary. Colbert began by addressing Bondi's tenure as Florida Attorney General, highlighting her efforts in combating human trafficking and opioid abuse. Bondi spoke passionately about her initiatives, emphasizing the importance of protecting vulnerable populations and holding perpetrators accountable. The audience responded with polite applause, acknowledging her contributions. However, Colbert swiftly transitioned to more contentious topics, signaling a shift in the conversation's tone. The discussion turned to Bondi's involvement in the Trump University controversy. Colbert referenced reports that Bondi's office declined to pursue legal action against Trump University after receiving a $25,000 donation from the Trump Foundation. Bondi maintained that the decision was based on legal considerations and that the donation had no influence on the outcome. Colbert, with his characteristic wit, quipped, "So, you're saying the timing was just a happy coincidence?" The audience chuckled, sensing the mounting tension. Bondi, unfazed, reiterated her commitment to ethical governance and transparency. She emphasized that her office had investigated numerous fraudulent institutions and that each case was evaluated on its merits. Colbert pressed further, questioning the optics of accepting a donation from an entity under investigation. Bondi responded firmly, stating that all campaign contributions were disclosed and that she had always acted in the best interest of Floridians. The conversation shifted to Bondi's role in defending President Trump during his impeachment trials. Colbert inquired about her motivations and whether she believed the proceedings were justified. Bondi defended her actions, asserting that the impeachment lacked substantive evidence and was politically motivated. She emphasized the importance of due process and the dangers of weaponizing impeachment for partisan purposes. Colbert challenged Bondi's assertions, citing testimonies and evidence presented during the impeachment hearings. He questioned whether her defense was rooted in legal analysis or political allegiance. Bondi maintained that her legal expertise guided her conclusions and that she had approached the case with objectivity. The audience listened intently, captivated by the intellectual sparring unfolding before them. The topic of election integrity emerged, with Colbert addressing Bondi's public statements regarding the 2020 presidential election. He referenced her involvement in promoting claims of widespread voter fraud and questioned the validity of such assertions. Bondi defended her position, expressing concerns about irregularities and the need for transparent electoral processes. She emphasized the importance of investigating allegations to maintain public trust in democratic institutions. Colbert countered by highlighting the numerous court rulings that dismissed claims of election fraud due to lack of evidence. He questioned whether perpetuating unsubstantiated claims undermined public confidence in the electoral system. Bondi responded by emphasizing the right to question and scrutinize election processes, arguing that transparency and accountability were essential for democracy. The conversation took a more personal turn as Colbert addressed Bondi's public image and the criticism she faced from various media outlets. He inquired about the challenges of navigating public scrutiny and maintaining personal integrity. Bondi acknowledged the difficulties but emphasized her resilience and commitment to her principles. She spoke about the importance of staying true to one's convictions amidst external pressures. Colbert, recognizing the gravity of the discussion, shifted the tone to a more reflective one. He asked Bondi about the lessons she had learned throughout her career and how they had shaped her perspective. Bondi spoke candidly about the complexities of public service, the importance of listening to diverse viewpoints, and the value of humility in leadership. The audience responded with respectful applause, appreciating the depth of the conversation. As the interview progressed, Colbert posed a hypothetical question. If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? Bondi paused, contemplating the question. She replied, I would tell myself to always lead with empathy and to remember that behind every policy decision are real people affected by it. The audience responded with a thoughtful silence, absorbing the sincerity of her response. Colbert then asked Bondi about her views on the current state of political discourse in America. Bondi expressed concern about the increasing polarization and the erosion of civil dialogue. She emphasized the need for leaders to model respectful conversations and to seek common ground. Colbert agreed, noting the importance of platforms that encourage constructive debates and mutual understanding. The discussion turned to the role of media in shaping public opinion. Colbert inquired about Bondi's experiences with media coverage and the impact it had on her work. Bondi acknowledged the challenges of navigating media narratives but stressed the importance of staying focused on one's mission. She advocated for media accountability and the need for accurate, balanced reporting. Colbert, steering the conversation towards the future, asked Bondi about her aspirations and plans moving forward. Bondi spoke about her commitment to public service and her desire to continue advocating for justice and ethical governance. She expressed interest in mentoring the next generation of leaders and emphasized the importance of civic engagement. As the interview neared its conclusion, Colbert offered Bondi an opportunity to address any misconceptions about her. Bondi took a moment before responding, I want people to know that while we may have different viewpoints, my intentions have always been to serve the public and uphold the law. I welcome dialogue and believe that through understanding, we can bridge divides. The audience responded with a standing ovation, moved by her earnestness. Colbert, visibly impressed, thanked Bondi for her candor and for engaging in a meaningful conversation. He remarked on the importance of having guests who are willing to discuss complex issues openly. Bondi expressed her appreciation for the platform and the opportunity to share her perspective. The atmosphere in the studio was one of reflection and mutual respect. The audience, initially unsure of what to expect, had witnessed a dialogue that transcended partisan lines. The exchange between Colbert and Bondi served as a testament to the power of civil discourse and the potential for understanding amidst disagreement. As the credits rolled, viewers at home took to social media to share their thoughts on the interview. Many praised the depth of the conversation and the willingness of both individuals to engage respectfully. The episode sparked discussions about the importance of empathy, the challenges of public service, and the need for constructive political dialogue. In the days that followed, the interview continued to resonate with audiences. Commentators highlighted it as an example of how media platforms can facilitate meaningful conversations. For Colbert and Bondi, the exchange was a reminder that despite differing ideologies, common ground can be found through honest dialogue and mutual respect. The interview's impact extended beyond the immediate audience, prompting discussions in political circles and media outlets. Analysts dissected the conversation, noting how it exemplified the potential for civil discourse even amidst deep political divides. The exchange was cited in opinion pieces and talk shows as a model for how public figures can engage in meaningful dialogue without resorting to hostility. Educational institutions used the interview as a case study in communication and political science courses, emphasizing the importance of listening and understanding in public discourse. The episode became a reference point for those advocating for more respectful and constructive political conversations. In the weeks that followed, both Colbert and Bondi reflected on the interview in separate forums. Colbert discussed the experience on his show, expressing appreciation for Bondi's willingness to engage in an open and honest conversation. He emphasized the importance of providing a platform for diverse viewpoints and fostering understanding among differing perspectives. Bondi, in interviews and public appearances, spoke about the positive feedback she received and the significance of engaging in dialogues that transcend partisan boundaries. She highlighted the interview as an example of how mutual respect and open-mindedness can lead to productive discussions, even on contentious issues. The lasting impact of the interview underscored the public's appetite for substantive and respectful political discourse. It served as a reminder that, despite deep-seated divisions, individuals can find common ground through empathy, active listening, and a commitment to understanding. The exchange between Colbert and Bondi became emblematic of the potential for media platforms to bridge divides and promote constructive conversations. As the nation continued to navigate complex political landscapes, the interview stood as a beacon of help for a more civil and united public dialogue.